Hello, everyone, and welcome to SpeakUpSis podcast. This is the place where everyday women and men have an opportunity to share their stories to inspire yours. We say what you think no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to know. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine. And listen, everybody, we are almost done with our branding mini series titled Starting and Scaling Your Brand with our special guest, lead brand strategist, CJ Benjamin of the Brand Room. He has been with us for the last few weeks, starting in November, and we're going to be finishing this up this month in December. And today we're going to be talking about your brand team, right? And starting one and getting one and all the good stuff. But what I love about what we're going to talk about today is that it's a question and answer. So it's interactive, which means you get to talk to us, you get to share and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and allow CJ to say hello to you all. CJ, because we are almost done, if we have any new people who are watching or following us who are tuned in, if you'll just share just a little bit about who you are and what makes you so special being here as a guest.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you to the founder, SpeakUpSis. I'm quite excited to be here once again, talking about branding, strategy, and all the creative intelligences that you can ever find within this terrain. So it's exciting to be here to talk about another topic today, building your brand team, which is very important because everything really rises and falls. Apart from leadership, every other thing rises and falls on the kind of people that you're working with and the kind of team that you've decided to build to be able to not just go global, but also remain global and have, enormous impact, in your business or wherever it is that you're doing. So I'm excited to be here today. Thank you once again. And please share the video if you can. Tell people that we've already started and let's do this together.
Excellent. So before we jump into this, because I am who I am and this is what I do, I know y'all notice the background. Do y'all notice the change in the background? I am super duper excited to be able to say that. Hello, Erica Nicole Brown. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. I think Jennifer Roberts is in the building as well. Thank you for joining us. So listen, everyone, I am actually sitting in the brand spanking new SpeakUpSis podcast studios. The acoustics in here are amazing. So we're still putting things together. So please excuse if the sound is really sharp on your ears. Please excuse me. We're getting it all together. So yes, this is the brand new SpeakUpSis podcast studios inside of SpeakUpSis Empowerment Center here in Augusta, Georgia. And so we're getting it together. It is going to be changing and everything. And so thank you for allowing me to come in this way. We're actually cleaning and painting and doing all sorts of things. But guess what? I was not going to miss this Tuesday because today you all get an opportunity to ask CJ questions. You get to ask questions. I invite you to ask questions. If you have questions about your branding, about brand teams, about anything we talked about thus far, but I'm going to start us off. I have some questions here prepared to ask CJ. And if you all have questions in the interim, feel free to put them in the comments and we will get to them. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. If you're not already following SpeakUpSis on YouTube, please do that and make sure you click the notification bell so that you can get notifications when we have new content. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, hey, thank you. And make sure you share this video. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it, CJ.
Right.
So my first question is going to be related to the dynamics of a team. Okay. And so this question is, What are the key elements in forming a successful brand team? And how do you ensure that the team is going to be cohesive and, that it'll be a strong, cohesive, dynamic team while you're building your brand?
All right. Thank you so much. Right. So that's quite important, when you're trying to build your team. What's so fundamental about your starting point? The thing is about being able to communicate and share vision, right? When you're starting to build a team, the first thing you need to do is to share the vision. Right. So what happens when you share vision is that those who are designed to work with you are going to be gathering around not just your personality, but around the vision to be able to make it, to move forward. So the first thing you need to do is to share vision critically. Make sure you are pushing the vision. Make sure the people understand what the vision is all about. When they understand what the vision is about, they can run with the vision. So, first off, your vision is critical. It's about communicating the vision. And secondly, you need to be able to allow people to air their views, right? This is about the dynamics. When you're sharing your vision, there are some things that are going to come up, and you need to allow people to air their views. Their views might not really be used, it might not be all that useful, but it creates an environment for everyone to thrive depending on who you're bringing on board. The first is your vision. The second is giving people a belonging, creating that environment that's going to help them to feel okay. We are part of something that is going somewhere. So you need to communicate vision. Vision helps you to tell the people that you are going somewhere. There is a bigger picture beyond where we are right now. We are pushing towards something that is going to probably change the world, impact the society, drive some sort of shift in the environment, curate some level of impact within a particular terrain. So it's about the vision. The vision is something that you're going to share to your people. The vision is an attractive element. It's what draws people to you. And the truth is the vision is also going to, allow people to move away from you. It's going to repel people, right? Your vision attracts, it also repels. So the people that stays or the people that sticks with you are the people that are designed to be there, whether you're paying them or not, right? Whether you are paying them or not, there are people that are designed to run with you. They are skillful people. They're people that God has put within your environment, within your sphere of contact. Mark the word, your sphere of contact, to help you deliver the vision, to help you deliver greatly on purpose. So make sure you share the vision. The people that are going to catch the vision, they are going to run with you. The people that the vision are going to repel are going to stay away from you so that you can have enough space to be able to entertain, retain, and work with the people that the vision is designed for. So the vision is critical. Make sure you share the vision. In fact, that's your number one tool that you're going to deploy. Share the vision. Let the people catch what it is that you want to do, right? Just share the vision, cast the vision, let them get it. Once they get it, then they are going to stick because of the vision. Something happened recently. Okay, I think it was last month. The founder of OpenAI was somehow, you must have heard about ChatGPT and all of the AI stuff. The founder of OpenAI was sacked. He's the founder, he's the originator of the brand, right? But he was somehow removed from the entire team. So Microsoft now had to call him to come work with them, right? But something critical happened because of all the things that was happening. The team members, the workers, said, no, without this guy, we are not going to work in OpenAI. So they were all trying to resign. They pushed a narrative. They said, we need this guy to come back. And if he's not coming back, we are not staying. So that's about the power of a leader who understands how to share vision. And these people are working with the vision shared, and they know that, oh, without this guy is the man, he's intelligent, he has the capacity to drive this vision. And if He's not going to be around. We're not sticking around. That's the power of a leader who understands the power of vision. Can you communicate your vision so much so that the people wouldn't want to stay around when the vision is not longer the focus? So this is quite exciting. Your vision is critical. People need to buy into whatever it is that you're selling, whatever it is that you're running. But the truth is, if you're just there to make money, your vision is not going to be strong. You need to have a keen, pursuing vision. I call it a keen, pursuing vision, a vision that not just triggers you, but triggers others. You need to have that keen, pursuing vision. Go read about Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI. Just read about what happened and how he was reinstated. This is the power of a leader who understands that vision is a driving force. And if you share the vision accurately, people are going to stick around, even when the internal narrative is not to your favor. Share the vision. Let them buy into the vision. Quite important.
Oh gosh. What you're saying right now, you don't know this, but I just had a conversation with a team member of mine about some things that I want to see happen for SpeakUpSis. And some of the things that I want to see happen for SpeakUpSis, actually, it requires that people rally behind SpeakUpSis. Let me say that. And it's like everything you're saying is such a confirmation to that. And so to add on to this question, because I know people are thinking it, even if they don't ask. And like I said, you all please ask your questions in the chat. This is the time. This is what you pay people big money to do, to be able to ask them questions that an expert can give you answers on. So use this time and ask the questions. But I want to ask you, CJ, to sort of piggyback off of that building a team and establishing the dynamic. I think part of what many people's issue is knowing who's supposed to be on the team, like how to actually pick your team members, or do you? And I'm gonna throw this out there. I believe your team members is almost like they'll choose you sometimes. I would like for you to talk about that, if you will. So you were just sharing on how to sort of establish the strength of this team and a dynamic. But for those people who don't have a team at all, who are like, where do I find these people? How do I find them? What would you say to them?
Okay, right. So you're just starting this vision or this business or ministry, or startup, and you don't know where to get started from, and you are scouting for people. Now the thing is, I've heard people say stuff like build in silence, but the truth is, contextually, you cannot really build in silence. Now I'm going to come to that. I'm going to explain that. All right, contextually, mark the word contextually. When you're trying to build, you might not need to build in silence. You might need to connect with people, right? Share with people. Tell people what you're trying to do. Tell people what the stuff is all about, right? So it's about starting to talk. At least start with the people around you. Ask questions. You don't have the money to hire all the people that you need, but please share your visions with people. Nobody's stealing your vision. Let me say this. Let me put it in a way that probably will annoy you. Your vision is not that important that people are going to steal it, right? Visions are everywhere. That's the truth. So don't think that somebody's going to steal your vision. My word, I'm not saying your vision is not important. Your vision is important, but it's not that important that people are going to steal it. No, don't go there. Share your vision with people. Talk about it with people. Let people know what you're trying to do. Now, the recommendations, the people that you're going to need to get started started are going to come from those people that you share your vision with. Right. So today I was chatting with someone about something that we are working on, and he said to me, "Okay, fine, I can actually talk to this person about these and these," and I was like, "Okay, that's great." But how was he able to tell me all of those? Because I actually shared with him. I said, "Okay, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build this at this level. We need this kind of money. It's some huge amount of money." It's like, okay, I know the founder of this, I know the co-founder of this, I know some VCs and all of that, and these people can actually help. How did I get some recommendations? Was because I got the recommendations because actually I shared my vision. So in case you're starting out, right, you don't know how to get started, start with sharing your vision with people around you. Tell your friends, "Oh, I'm trying to do this." Ask questions. "I'm trying to do that. How can I get somebody to help me do this?" The truth is that you have problems you need to solve when you're getting started. Let's assume that you're trying to probably get an office. Ask people around you. Tell people around you. Don't just stay there and expect things to just happen because you have a vision or because you have a dream to do something. No, it's not just going to happen. You need to make a move. And the movement starts with you first sharing with the people around you. Share, if it's your parents, if it's your brothers or sisters, at least let the people around you know what you're trying to do. They have networks, they have contacts that they can actually share with you. Write it on Facebook. Tell people, "Okay, I want to do this. What do you think about this?" Just share. Keep sharing. Talk about it. Don't just, keep it inside of you and think that people are going to, come around or, rally around without you talking about it. When you're just starting, you don't have people to work with. So you've got to talk about it. If you need to hire, you need to put up a design about hiring people and all of that. Just do something. It start with doing something. Just get something done. Talk to people around you. The people around you are very important. They might not need to help and they must not help, but it helps you move forward. At least somebody else knows what you're thinking. Somebody else has, probably caught the idea inside of you or the idea that you have in your head. So it's about pulling it out from your head and putting it or writing it in someone else's mind rent free without you, even paying for it. Right. So talk about it, share with the people around you, let them know you're trying to do this. Who knows? They might even have the solution to what you're looking for. They might just know someone, right? Talk to your networks, talk to the people around you, connect with people, share your vision. Nobody's stealing your vision. Visions are everywhere. Nobody's stealing that your vision. Just share it. Nobody's stealing that your dream. Share it, right? Don't say, "Oh, if I share my vision, they are going to run and do it." No, actually, the truth is what you're doing, someone is doing it somewhere else. It
Yeah.
might be somewhere in Africa, somewhere in Asia, somewhere in North America, or somewhere in Europe. Somebody is doing it. Actually, that's one thing you need to understand. What you're trying to do, if not the exact name that you've chosen, someone else, has already thought about it, has already started doing something about it, but with a different, perspective.
Right.
What makes your vision unique is your personality. You are your brand. You are your brand. I call it your uniqueness. Your uniqueness. There's something about you that the world has to feel. They have to see it. They need to leverage on it. So don't don't bother about the people that are going to steal the vision. The people, they can't do it like you.
Right.
Is a footprint. Your vision is more like a footprint. There's a way you're going to do that vision that no one else is going to do it like you. There are a lot
That's
of
right.
banks out there, right? There are a lot of banks. There are a lot of social media. There are a lot of, platforms doing seamlessly the same thing, but with different perspective.
That's right.
Facebook doesn't look like LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't look like Instagram. We have WeChat. Different flavors of
Right.
personalities, ideas, configurations, and all of that. So you need to make sure share the vision. Nobody's stealing your vision. Connect with people.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you're right. We hear people say all the time, move in silence so no one will steal. But if I can add even just a small caveat, is that I think people who worry so much about people taking are usually people who are not doing enough moving. They're not doing enough action. Because if you're moving and you're making it happen, they don't have time. No one has time to pick up and do what you're doing if you're doing it, right? So if you're worried, oh, they're going to do what I'm doing, that's probably because you're not doing anything with it. That's because you haven't made a decision to work the brand. You haven't made a decision to do the thing or whatever, and you're sitting on it and you're waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're just hoping that no one's going to do it before you, which is crazy. You gotta get up and move. I agree with you. CJ, I believe the people who are becoming a part of Team Speak Up Sis found me.
Great.
I actually didn't look for the people with whom I work. I didn't look for you. I didn't look for you. We just sort of found each other in a space and time, right? The studio team, the people who are becoming Team Speak Up Sis with the headquarters. These are people, I didn't go out and say, hey, will you work with me? Hey, I'm doing this. Will you help me? No, I build community, and I let people in, period. And because I made sure to trademark Speak Up Sis, people can go do whatever they want to do, but what they can't do is call it Speak Up Sis, right? So I don't mind talking about Speak Up Sis.
Right, that's the point of moving. When you are moving, taking the right action, you don't need to worry about who is going to steal your vision. If you want to limit people from stealing your vision, go do some trademark.
Yes.
Right? Do some trademark. Register the business, trademark it. Nobody's stealing your name, right? But if you are not doing nothing, people are going to take it. The vision is pushed out, and it is about whosoever will it, right? The vision is about whosoever will it. If you are willing and obedient, you're going to reap the fruit of the vision, if I must put it that way. So you need to get started, get doing, and stop wondering, right? Stop, feeling like people are going to steal it. Do what you need to do. Go trademark it, go register it, push it out. When people see that you're doing it, when people see that you're doing it, they're going to slow down and think about something else, or something else. So that's quite important. You need to take action.
Agree.
Action is critical.
Action is critical. Action is critical to building your team. Good afternoon, whoever Facebook user is. You must be in the Speak Up Sis community group because we cannot see your name, but good afternoon to you. So I'm going to move to the next question. This next question is surrounding recruitment and skill sets, which kind of takes what we've been talking about kind of to the next level. So now you've got some people around. Oh, hey, Dina, how you doing, sis? Thank you for joining us today. So you've got some people around you and all that good stuff. But now you're actually looking at people who can actually come in and be a part of your team. Hi, Tiana T. She says action is critical. Yes, y'all make sure, put hashtag action is critical in the chat, because it is. If you don't want people to steal your name, you don't want people to steal your ideas, then put it into action. Go trademark it. Turn it into a business, an LLC, go do what you need to do, right? So the next question I have for you, CJ, remember, if you all have brand related questions that you would like CJ to weigh in on today, please put them in the comments. So the question I have for you is, what specific skills or qualities do you look for when hiring individuals to build a brand team? And the second part of that question, are there any unconventional skills or experiences that stand out in the branding field? So let's tackle the first one first. Are there any specific skills or qualities that we should be looking for when we're hiring people to build our brand team?
Okay, so the thing is, I'm not going to talk so much about skill set, but I'm going to talk about some of the qualities. And the reason
Okay.
is because visions or your team is unique. So there are people that you need depending on what you're building, right? But one thing is critical, you need people who embody the expertise that you need, the people who embody the right expertise that you need. So your if for example, if I'm hiring someone, into the brand room, I'm looking about, are you an expert in what you're doing? Because we're trying to deliver solutions at a level, for our clients. So I need people whose thinking capability, thinking capacity, and their work ethics matches that of brand room, right? And what we need to build or what we need to do for clients. So one thing I would tell you to do is make sure that you are hiring people who know how to do their stuff. Get people who can do their stuff, not people who are posing that they can do this stuff. That is, sometimes you need to look out for portfolios. You need to look out for what these people have done, what is the track record, what have they built, who have they consulted for, what branding have they done, what website have they done. You need to really look at some of those dynamics, get to see what they've done. Expertise is very important. Look at it. Then another thing you need is, this is a little bit unconventional, but sometimes you need to look out for people who are faithful, not just people who are skilled. Look out for people who can be faithful in doing the thing that they've said they are going to do. So it's about faithful people who are able. I'm going to say it again. Look out for not just skilled people, but look out for faithful people who are skilled. There's a lot of things that are actually inside the word faithful. It talks about honesty, it talks about deliverability, your ability to deliver. It talks about your ability to keep your words, right? So look out for people who have the expertise. Yes, quite important, but even more important is the people who are faithful people that are skilled. Look out for faithful people that are skilled. That is very important. Don't just you know there's this thing about skilled people. Sometimes they can be proud, right? But there are some who understand that their gift, their talent, and their skill is not enough. Look out for those people, right? So it's about faithful people who are able, faithful people who are skilled, faithful people who can deliver on the job. Not just people who are good, they are great in their task, but they cannot deliver. They cannot be trusted. You cannot depend on what they've said they are doing or they can do. So if I need you in my team, you need to have experts. You need to be an expert in what you're doing. But beyond that, skillfulness or expertise that you have, I need you to be faithful. I need you to be able to really work. Can you deliver? Is very important. Then look out for people who are adaptable, people who can work with a team, not just people who feel like, okay, they are too important to belong to a team. They're too important to give feedback. Feedback is critical in anything. I tell my guys, feedback is more important than delivery. I need to know what's happening. Yes, we are talking, but I need to hear you talk. I need you to give me feedback. Tell me what is happening, how you're going about it. So don't just hire people who are skilled, get people who are faithful, get people who are adaptable, get people who can actually give feedback, people who see themselves as team members, not the entire team themselves. So one person cannot make a team. They need to be able to work with the entire framework, work with the entire protocol, work with the entire team, give feedback, right? Very important. Remember, faithful people who are able, not just skilled. I have to say, people who have the expertise and all of that, because that's very important. But beyond that, look out for people who are faithful, people who can keep their words, people who can say that they can do this and actually do it. right? When I tell you to do stuff, I want you to deliver. Now, these people might not actually be on the same or in the same environment, but you need to be able to trust them. And trust is aimed at a level. Trust is aimed. But then before trust is in, you have to at least give a trial. So don't be scared to try out. I can remember when we started with SpeakUpSis, there has to be some sort of trial. In fact, I told her that for you to know that we are real or we can deliver, we need to do the job first before you pay us, right? And we delivered before she actually paid. So there has to be some sort of ending of trust, right? Especially when you are dealing with cross-border transactions or and stuff like that. Then depending on what it is that you are building, but then there are some other ways to work around that. Look out for people who already have their businesses registered. So with that, you can actually track if there's some sort of anomalies and all of that. If somebody wants to do some sums on you, you can just check them out, make sure that they are registered. I tell people, please do not work with people who are not registered. That is why you need to somehow look look forward to working with not just individuals, work with agencies, work with companies, people who are registered. There is a reason for that. There is actually a reason for that. One person might fall sick, one person might even die. Does that mean that the job that is, we're doing stops? There are some things that you need to consider. Work with a business that registered and also has some sort of team, so that you're thinking of continuity, you're thinking of longevity, and you're thinking of the fact that if something happens to this person, our deal is not canceled or our deal is not closed at the moment, right? So even as a business person, when you are doing business, think about these things. It's good to have a team at a level. It's good to actually have a team so you don't overburden yourself. And there is also some other things tied around that. There are some businesses that you will not be able to deliver as a person. There are some companies that will not give you job as a person. You need a team. You need to register that company, register it as an independent entity so that you can function as one. Some companies, some businesses will not come to you as an individual. They need to make sure that you are registered and then that you have a team and the capacity to curate and deliver. Very important.
All of those are so good. You even gave me some things to think about in terms of the future of Speak Up Sis and where we're going, and some things that I need as well. So thank you for that. We do have a question in the chat that I want to pose. It's Tiana T. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can, if it will let us. Gosh. Okay, there it is. You all, please excuse me. Again, I am recording for the first time in the studio, and so things are a little different than what I'm accustomed to. But Tiana says, what mindset shift is necessary to overcome humility or being humble as an obstacle to building and marketing your brand? Do you
What
understand what
mindset
she's
shift is
asking?
this? Okay, can you repeat it? Okay, I'm reading it right now.
What mindset shift is necessary to overcome humility, or I'm gonna call it false humility. That's what I'm gonna call it. But humility as an obstacle to building and marketing your brand. So those people are so humble. They're like, I cannot possibly talk about myself. I don't want anybody to think I'm proudful or boastful or I'm doing too much, right? What is the mindset shift that needs to take place for people to overcome that
Okay.
so they can build?
I truly understand that, and I've had to work with a lot of people who just have that. Some time ago, I shared about the first time I started, the thing of charging people to do the stuff that you're doing. You feel like, why should I charge them? I could just do this for free. But here's the thing: the mindset shift is called leadership, right? You need to embody. There's a capacity called leadership. Now, it can be developed. It's called leadership capacity. Now, let me define leadership. I'm going to define leadership according to Miles Morrow. He said that leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated from a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed out of a conviction that is produced by purpose. I'm going to repeat that. You need to embody leadership capacity. And I'm going to define leadership according to Miles Morrow. He says that leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration. And this inspiration is generated from a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed out of a conviction that is produced by purpose. Listen, when you embody purpose, when you've discovered the thing that you were designed to do, there is some sort of guts and temerity, nerve that comes with it. And it's about leadership capacity. You need to embody it. You need to tell yourself that you were born to do this. You were designed, crafted, cultured, right? Codified, built, designed for this particular thing. So you within yourself, you need to mortar the courage. It is something that you develop for yourself. Tell yourself that you were designed to do this and begin to talk about it. Right. So it's about a leadership shift. It's about a leadership shift. And this shift happens by you understanding that you have a purpose. You have something that you were designed to do. God has created you to do something. And you, for some reasons, you have some sort of conviction in your spirit that you were designed to do that. This now comes out, embodying some sort of passion that you have, that you share about it with so much God, so much effrontery, so much, nerve, that people can really see, oh, this guy, this lady, this woman is designed for this, right? So false humility gives way when you embody the leadership capacity. And I've said that it is the capacity to influence others through inspiration. So you need to inspire them, talk to them, tell them about it, share about it. And it comes by you understanding that you have a purpose. There is something inside of you that you have, that it is only you that is designed to do it like you, right? So it comes with a leadership capacity. It is something so wonderful. You can probably read some books around it, but first you need to embody the leadership capacity. Leadership is so important that nothing happens without it. Nothing happens. This is what is going to drive you to call people. It's going to give you the nerve to call people, move out, do stuff, be a go-getter. It comes with leadership capacity. Embody the leadership capacity. And I've said that it is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, not coercion. You're not forcing them, you are inspiring them. So it is the capacity. Understand, it is a capacity. You have it inside of you. It might be dormant, it might be, just there resting, but just know that you have it, right? You have it inside of you. But then it's not
I
enough to
think
have it.
I'm
Right?
sorry,
It's
go
not
ahead.
enough, right? It's not enough to have it. You need to communicate about it. You need to share it. Inspire people with it. And when you inspire people, people will naturally come to you. And the more you share, the more you communicate, the more you build confidence, the more you feel at home in your skin, in your voice, in the thing that you are doing, and people will begin to like you for the thing you do. That is them being inspired by what you're doing. You see how I share about the things I share. I talk about it with so much passion, right? And people are going to like it because even if I'm saying nothing, even if I'm saying what doesn't make sense, I talk about it with so much temerity that you feel the passion. That is what you need to talk about. You really don't need to sound like me. You don't need to put all the energy that I put. Mine is inward. It is, I'm wired to do it. I'm wired to put in so much energy. A lot of people don't talk like this. some people talk quiet and also get the desired result. But it's about you understanding the fact that you have it inside of you and you need to let it out, right? Push it out. Stop. And if you need people to really push you, I think I'm a good pusher, right? So you can just talk about it, connect. I will push you out of your comfort zone to do the thing that you were designed to do. I just know how to do that. So in case you think that's your problem, or you're just not feeling it like you can really do it, you can just get connected and we work around that. But listen, it starts with you embodying the leadership capacity. And I said it is the ability, leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration.
That's right.
Generated from a passion. You need to have the passion. Make sure the passion is there. If the passion is there, then it's not it. The passion is what fuels everything. It makes you to just wake up every morning and you want to do it. You want to talk about it. You want to write about it. So sometimes I need to ask, do you really have the passion? Because it's one natural thing that fuels you, even when you are not so. The passion keeps, getting you to do something. So you need to have the passion. And you also need to have conviction. It's very important. You need to have conviction. Are you really sure that this is what you're designed to do? If you have that conviction, then it is connected to your purpose. So start with vision, conviction. Then you move to start with purpose. You move to conviction. It comes to vision. Then passion, right? Then capacity. Capacity is the least that you actually need. Is the least. So with all the skill, you need conviction. You need the vision. You need to be in tune with the purpose. If you understand what the purpose for what you're doing is, if you understand how it is that the world is going to change, that people are going to be transformed by what you are doing, trust me, you are going to do it. So the thing is, a lot of people don't really understand the thing that they embody and how it is that this little thing can change people. This little thing can pull people out of depression.
And that right there is that is the component of leadership, that not only knowing that it is in you to do, that you were created to do it, that you've been purposed to do it. I think the missing piece in this, and knowing that is what, because people say, I know I'm supposed to do this, I'm purposed to do it, I have a vision. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a conviction. Just because you know that doesn't mean there's going to be passion, and it doesn't mean that there's going to be a conviction. And so I do believe that the missing piece is understanding that whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, if you say that it is a God-given vision, it is connected to other people. It is designed to benefit people outside of yourself. So when you talk about what is the mindset shift that's necessary, you got to come from it being about you. Dare I say this, CJ, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings right now, but I'm going to go ahead and step all over their toes. How about that? Because you preaching, so I'm preaching.
Right.
If I told you this, when I tell you this, I want you to sit with it. False humility is actually wrapped up in a spirit of pride, just like people pleasing, because it's about you. I'm not going to share. I don't want them to think this about me. I don't want them to think this about me. I don't want them to say this about me. I don't want people to think I'm doing too. Everything is about me, and I, and it's all eyes on me. That's a powerful way to think. But when you know that you're leading from a servant leadership, as a servant leader, then you understand that you're leading people. And what it is you have to offer is for people. It's not about you. So when you're trying to shift your mindset, you've got to know that if you keep your mouth closed, if you don't share the vision, if you don't build the brand, if you don't market this new product or this new service or whatever, that there are people who are connected to the vision that's been placed in you who won't get it. They won't have access to it. understand this. There are a gazillion podcasts in the world right now, but there are people who are specifically connected to Speak Up Sis podcast who get what they need from my voice and what God has strategically and uniquely designed for me to do. So could they go listen to some other podcasts? Absolutely. Will it be delivered the way I deliver it? Absolutely not. Which means the people who need to hear it the way I deliver it won't hear it if I won't talk, if I won't share. So if you're trying to think, well, I'm humble, and I don't want to seem like I'm bragging. Listen, the way you shift your mind is to realize that you're being proudful because you think it's about you, because you think people are looking at you, because you think they're just listening to your voice. They're not. They're absolutely not. They could care. Look at me. Today, I'm in an old sweater and a t-shirt and a head wrap. Why? Because I'm painting and cleaning. But you know what? I know that people are showing up for this series, for what we're doing. So it doesn't matter if I look crazy. None of that matters. What matters is that I am giving you what you needed today. Because it's not about me. And as a leader, as a servant leader, it's never about you. So if humility, air quotes, bunny ears, is the issue, then remove yourself from it. Remove yourself from what God has called you to do and know that it is for the people, because Jesus came so that we, right? So that we would be, it wasn't for him, it's for us. So servant leadership requires that you see other people before yourself. And I promise you, y'all see me go hard. You see CJ go hard. It's because I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm crazy about y'all. I need y'all to get all of this. I need y'all to have community. I need you to know that people love you. I need you to know that your voice matters, that your story matters in this place. I need you to know that you're going to overcome hell, death, and the grave when you open up your mouth and you share. I need you to know that your assailant, your attackers, the people who oppose you, the people who have hurt you, that they cannot live. They cannot have power and strength if you open up your mouth and speak up. I need you to know that. And because I need you to know that, and I need you to live in that, I have to show up. And I have to open my mouth. And I have to share. Understand? And that was a whole lot. But I'm going in on this because this was an issue for me. This was an issue for me. CJ had to help me. He was like, you got to charge the people. You got to charge the people. I'm charging you. See, he charges me. But I'm not willing to charge the people. Why? Because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to get over. I don't want them to think that I don't want them. It's all about what I think people think about me, which is self-serving, and it's selfish, and it's going to keep my mouth closed. So that's listen, you done got a whole counseling session right there. Pay CJ and Angel. You could pay us for this counseling y'all just got by going and doing what you need to do. Understand? So we're gonna move on.
Okay, Tina said something. I think I need to repeat what I said about the leadership. I said that you can write it down if you want to. I said that it's the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated from a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed out of a conviction that is produced by purpose. I repeat it again in case you need to put it down. It is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated from a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed out of a conviction that is produced by purpose. Right. So I hope you get the definition right now.
We got a little social proof testimonials going on here. How you doing, Mary? So little known fact, or little unknown fact. I know Mary as well. Mary Dwase. You all need to check Mary out. She's amazing. She works with CJ as well. We all met in the same space. And I love it because that's how we're talking team building. How do you build your team? You got to go into some spaces. I had to go into other people's spaces so that I could learn from somebody new. And in those spaces were people that I needed to know, that I needed to connect with, that I would have never connected with had I not been okay with going into someone else's space, which is going to take us to the next question, CJ. And we got some talking here today. Tiana says, you're on it. Y'all on it. Go ahead and step on all 10 of my toes. That's what's up. She says, thank you. That hit the spot. CJ, you said influence through inspiration. Oh, you explained it to her. Okay, good. We love you too, Tiana. So let's go to the next question that I have for you, CJ. This is good today. Ooh, I'm really excited. And it's a leadership and collaboration question. And the question is, how do you foster collaboration and innovative thinking within a brand team, especially when dealing with diverse perspectives and approaches? And I think this is a really good question, because when you think branding, everybody's going to be coming with their different ideas. Right now with the center, I'm working with people on decorating. This person has this experience and this idea. This person has this experience and this idea. So I'm sure you're going to get that with your brand team. How is it that you work through that when you're dealing with diverse people and perspectives and approaches?
Okay, great. Okay, one thing you need to understand is that leadership in its entirety actually involves, facilitating an environment where diverse perspectives are not only welcome but encouraged, right? So you need to make sure that different people that are working with you, their perspectives are welcomed. And they're not just welcomed, they are encouraged. So the first thing you need in working with diverse people, first of all, you need to even understand that you should work with a diverse team. For example, I'm working with SpeakUpSis. Culturally, we're not on the same background, right? But she discovered that, okay, these people, this team can actually curate and deploy my brand at a level that I need. So she had to get connected. So you need to understand that you're going to work with people from different cultures. At some point you might need to. So you're going to work with people that are in different departments, people doing, let's say, graphics, people doing websites, people doing accounting and all of that. One thing that you need to understand is that their perspectives matters. Right. So bring all the perspectives together, weigh it as a leader or collectively, and see to it that people's perspectives, yes, it might be unique, it might be different from others, but then give them that sense of belonging, that whatever things that they are saying, whatever things that they are thinking about is actually valid. Though it might not play out, but it is valid. So give them their place, give them their flowers when they need it, and make sure that they get it. We appreciate everybody in this team. Yes, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. We might not use it, but it is very valid. So the idea is that you are giving everyone involved in the team, right, their place, so they understand, yes, the vision is about deploying at a level, but we are going to make sure that what matters is deployed and not just individuals' perspective. So we collate all the ideas, we collect all the perspectives, we collect all the inspirations that we need, and we build on what needs to be built. Right. So what I'm saying is, give everybody a sense of belonging, no matter their background, no matter their expertise, no matter what it is that they are deploying or curating for the team. Give them their place. Make them feel welcome. Your idea is welcomed, though it might not be the most successful, it might not be the most used, it might not be the one that's going to be deployed. Somebody might give an idea that currently we might not be able to do it, right? So we need to do what works at the moment. So give everybody, no matter the segment, the particular area they're working on, or they're working for the company, give them their place. Let them understand that, okay, we understand your place and we value what you bring to the table, but we are deploying what needs to be deployed. So it's about making sure that everybody is given that sense of belonging. Facilitate that
Excellent.
environment where diverse perspectives are not only welcome but encouraged. So it's about
I love
open
it,
door
love it, love it,
policy.
love it. I'm going to go into this next question. As I say this thing, because I think it kind of lends itself both to the question I just asked as well as the next, because the next question is going to deal with um, your brand, being adaptable and being relevant. Um, and I want to add here, not just being adaptable so that you're relevant, but so that you remain unique, because things are trendy, right? And one thing I realized with Speak Up Sis is that I did not want a trendy brand. I did not want a business that was developed on being trendy, because trends come and go. I want Speak Up Sis to be classic. And so what I had to sort of overcome is not being like everybody else for the most
Right.
part. Being able to fit into a trend, but to live outside of the trend as well. And I remember when you all first started doing the graphics for Speak Up Sis, when you started doing the art, and thinking about the cultural difference, and not just cultural difference, because I don't think it's cultural. I think it's the style of the brand team that I chose to use, which is another thing you have to think about when you're looking at your team. I chose to use a brand team who have their own vision for what they do and how they do it. So when you all create my graphics, they don't actually look like a lot of the graphics that I see where I live. So where I live, I call them party flyers. And they're shiny, they look like club flyers. They're nice, they're beautiful. But that's everybody's graphics look like that. Everybody's graphics look like some type of party graphic. Mine don't. And so at first it messed with me at first, because I was like, because I think you and I talked about this at one point when I was like, CJ, the people where I live, this is what they like to see. My graphics don't really look like that. So, and I had to get to a point where I realized Speak Up Sis isn't like those brands. And Speak Up Sis is not a regional brand. It's not a local brand. Speak Up Sis is a global brand. Speak Up Sis is speaking to diverse cultures and backgrounds and experiences. And so I needed to allow the team that I decided to work with to allow my brand to be adaptable enough to fit inside of what's happening right now and remain relevant, and at the same time be uniquely different to where it doesn't sit only in the trend.
Right.
So here's my question. With the ever evolving landscape of marketing and branding, how do you cultivate adaptability and agility within your brand team to stay relevant and unique?
All right. So before I answer the question, I want to address some of the comment that you made. You talked about the graphics and all of that, the party kind of flyers and all of that. So here's what I've noticed, and a lot of people go online, right? And they see, and this is how most of those stuff are done. There's a particular template they see online. It could be Canva and all of that. And what they do is to edit on it, and curate something and it's always look like okay, it's the same. Sometimes it's not really culture, it's not really that it's just that these people are people who probably don't understand what a brand should look like or what a brand should be. The essence of a brand is that it should be unique and it should communicate something dynamic so that people who are following or listening or following through can really embody the vision. So somebody's doing a conference and it's looking like a party. That doesn't work. So your brand, whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you're on point. And I tell people, you will never build $1 million brand with a minimum wage brand ethics. So if you want to do something powerful, you need to curate it powerful. If you need to attract the global audience, you need to curate something global. If you need to attract corporate, you need to make sure that you are communicating and speaking to such audiences that you really want to connect with. So about your brand being adaptable and all of that. One thing I'm going to tell you is that things are always changing. Things are always changing. Business landscape is changing. So you need to first, yes, you might not need to follow trend, but you need to study trends. The reason why you need to study trends is to understand when society is moving. People are craving for what I call newness, new experiences. So you need to understand where the market is going, where the business landscape is going, what is the future of my niche, the future of my business. Study it, understand the trends, and disrupt the trends. Right? So the thing is, you need to first study the trend. You can disrupt the trend, but make sure you study it. So it will help you understand where so that you don't go back to 2015 when we are in 2014. Sorry, when we are in 2024. Right? So it's about staying up to par with industry trends, but making sure that you are not just sticking around, but you are ahead of it. So it's about being flexible, be flexible. If you need to change that logo, change it. If you need to rebrand, rebrand. If you need to tweak the entire narrative, if you need to update your vision, sometimes the content of visions get outdated. You need to rephrase the vision to embody newness at a level so that the people that you are communicating to or the shifts that has happened in the environment, your vision can be able to really stay true to it. So sometimes you need to be really shift the narrative, adapt, right? Be flexible, check out what is happening, check out the branding narratives, check out what is the design trends. You might need to disrupt it, but make sure you understand that things are shifting. Tech is taking over, right? So you need to really look out for how to use these things to really proliferate and then accelerate your brand. That's very important. Look out for trends, study what's happening right now. Are there some shifts happening within the business environment that I need to study? So you need to keep learning. You need to keep expanding your horizon, keep expanding your views about things. All right. There are some things that you thought were true, let me say 10 years ago, they are no longer true today. It's about unlearning, relearning, right? So you need to unlearn and relearn. Keep improving yourself, making sure that where you are yesterday is not where you are today, right? Keep improving on it. Keep tweaking the entire narrative. Keep changing the vision. Sometimes you need to really reward your vision. Sometimes you need to look at it, and that's about brand auditing. You need to look at the vision again. Do you need to tweak some things? Do you need to change some words? Do you need to make sure that you are evolving? The vision is not static. And that is why it is a vision. It's not static. Some things might change, right? Some things might change. The assignment has some sort of renewal. There are some things that you will fulfill and new updates comes to you. There are some things that you would do and you discover that the path of the just, shines brighter and brighter. So that's about flexibility. It's about you knowing that, okay, where I am yesterday might not be, what I need to be today. So keep updating the narrative, keep updating the vision. Make sure that you are shifting grounds. I told you we are shifting grounds. With the brand room, we are building something entirely new. Yes, it's still about branding, but we are curating something new. We're changing a lot of things because we need to keep, pushing the vision to where it's meant to be. So it's about changing the narratives, making sure that you stay up to date. Not necessarily about following trends, but society is like a software that keeps updating. You need to make sure that you are sticking to trends in terms of understanding what's happening and what's no longer happening, what to leave aside and what to pick up. Keep pushing and making sure that you're updating your brand software. Keep updating yourself, keep improving on it, right? It's like a software, you need to keep updating it. I don't know how, I think I've updated my WhatsApp for like 3 times this month. So it's about updating. New features keeps coming, right? You need to update. Features keeps coming, you need to update. That's how it is with your vision. New updates, new features, new update. Keep updating. Don't
All
stick
right,
around.
I'm going to interrupt you here because don't you update so much that that's I can't have you on my team now. I need you to you need to stick with the heart now. Stick with the heart of the branding. I don't care what you do for the rest of these people, but
I
when
understand
it comes to
what you mean.
when it comes to speak up,
Right.
sis, you got to stay focused on the brand. We need the brand. But anyway, I'm just messing. I hear you. I hear you. How you doing, Elizabeth? She says great advice. And Tiana says I got some updating to do. That's what's up, sis. So I've got one last question that I have. I'm going to say again, those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been an amazing episode to our Starting and Scaling Your Brand mini series with CJ Benjamin, the lead strategist of the Brand Room. We have this has been a whole coaching session, therapy session, branding session today, and I'm super excited about it. So those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us. If you're not already following and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do that today and click the notification bell to make sure you get updates. And if you are watching on Facebook, thank you so much. Make sure you're following Speak Up Sis podcast. Actually go to the top and make sure that it says that you're following, like and follow the page. A lot of you are connected to us, but you're not actually following us. And so I love for you to do that. So we're going to wrap up today with a final question. Unless you all have a question for CJ, I will most definitely make sure that he answers it for you while we're live. So if you have a branding question, go ahead and put it in the comments right now. But I'm going to ask my final question for the day, CJ. And this question, I think, lends itself well for branding, building a brand team, building a business, establishing anything. And that is learning from failure. We're going to, this question is going to be in that arena. Can you share an instance where your team, because you're brilliant, and I know you don't mess up often, but can you share an instance where your team faced a setback in building a brand? And if you can remember one, tell us how you navigated through it and what were your sort of takeaways from it.
Okay. So let me start with the takeaway. Right. So
Okay.
I will now come to it. So
Okay.
here's how I see failure. Failure is a feedback. right? So we call it feedback from failure. So what it does
Okay.
for you is that it tells you, okay, there is something you need to do, right? Failure does not mean that you have failed. It is a feedback to do something right. So to say that or to expand on that, let me say this. For you, if you face any kind of failure, it's not the final, you know, bus stop. It's not the full stop to whatever you're doing, right? It's just a feedback. It's more like, okay, you you did something or you wanted to build something and you deployed it, and probably there's some sort of hitch. So what you do with that feedback, you use it to improve on what you need to do. So for us, yes, we face that kind of challenge where, right, we were branding on something based on the information that was supplied to us. We thought it was something, but it was not it. So we we deploy something, a branding work at a level that we understood, what was shared at the point. But at the point of delivery, we discovered that the person actually meant something entirely. And the reason is not necessarily from us, right? The person was not clear about the vision he had. He thought he wanted to build something, he needed to do something, but he did not know really exactly where to move the entire thing to. So he shared some part of the vision and we caught it and we started working with it. But somehow we discovered, okay, this is not really, in fact, at the point, the person said that this, I'm not really clear about what I'm trying to build, so I need to pause. So what we needed to do was to encourage, we just did some reforms and all of that to still maintain that relationship at a level, right? So the thing is, feedback is just failure is just a feedback. And what it did for us was that we needed to now, that's how we developed the concept of now having some discovery sections with the client, right? We needed to talk about the entire thing, see you share the vision. For me, I like to see you share the vision. I need to see the passion. I need to feel the passion and not just see it. I need to feel it. I need to see how it sounds in your voice, right? So that is just that we needed to hear, develop a platform or a system where we listen to the heart of the people that are talking, right? So failure is not the final thing, it's just a feedback. And when you get that feedback, you need to use it to tweak your offering, use it to tweak your product, use it to, pivot and know what next to do. So if you somehow experience any form of failure, you need to use it as a feedback, not the final buster for you, right? We've seen it happen. We leverage on it, used it to now, expand our offering, use it to create a more working relationship with our client where we listen to them talk. If you're doing anything branding with us, I want to see you talk. I need to hear you talk about the vision so that I know that I actually understood what you're saying, right? I need to hear and see what you're saying before we could run with it. That's very important for us, right? And we got that inspiration because we just had someone fill the form, right? And we started working with the information that we got through the form, and then we discovered, okay, at the end of the day, this is not what the person actually needed. So what I discovered was that people, there are some things that you say that you can write. That is the thing about talking. We need to see you talk, we need to hear you talk, we need to interface with you virtually, depending on where you are, right? And talk about the vision. Very important. I We had to develop that. When you see us, having Zoom sections, trying to understand what you're doing, it came as a feedback from failure, right? Feedback from failure. Forms are not enough for us. we need to see you talk. We need to interface, have some sort of interaction and conversation with you to make sure that we feel the vision, hear the vision, connect with the vision, and deploy the vision accurately. Right. So what I have to tell you, like I said, failure is a feedback. And with that feedback, you can build something with it. You can curate something with it. You can expand what you're doing and make it better for the clients, for the customers, and even for your team. Use failure as a feedback.
That's what's up. I love what Veronica says. And hello, Veronica Jackson. Thank you for joining us. She said, I heard something today that I thought was cool. You win some and you learn some. You never lose. You're always learning. I love that because we hear people say you win some, you lose some, right? But the truth is that you're never the same. You shouldn't be anyway. You're never the same after anything that you do. Right? So once you do it, once you deploy it, if it doesn't work the way you thought it was going to work, now you can learn from that. Right? I think I've also heard some people say, you fail forward. I've listened to so many motivational type people, but they talk a lot about, winning really is just a culmination of failing. It's a culmination of moments where things didn't go the way you wanted them to, and you practicing more, doing more, shifting, learning, whatever. But if you're not willing to, and I hate using the word fail, but it is what it is. If you're not willing to fail at something or something to not come out the way that you hoped it would or expected it would, then there's no way for you to grow. We grow when things don't necessarily work the way we want them to work. It actually causes your brain to have to tap into some other things, doesn't it? So if you work really, 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 really hard to build something and then you deploy it and it doesn't work the way you wanted it to, your brain literally has to think, it has to be innovative. Because you put all your energy, all your thoughts into this thing. So now that it's not working the way you want it to work, you literally got to figure out something else to either get it to work or to revamp it or to scrap it and do something else, right? Hello. Oh, gosh. We're always praying, John. I don't know who you are, but we're always praying. So that was my last question for today, CJ. It doesn't look like we have any other questions in the chat. Before we leave, I'm going to throw this out at you. This is an opportunity for you to get questions answered. This past weekend, I was invited to, SpeakUpSis magazine was invited to cover an event that will be featured in one of our magazines in 2024. And I also had an opportunity to speak briefly. And one of the things that I shared was like in Ecclesiastes 9 and 11, where the Bible tells us that the race isn't given, to the swift, right, or to the strong. But what we need to know is that everybody gets time and chance. We all get the same amount of 24 hours in a day, and we are all going to be given chances. We're all going to be given opportunities. What you choose to do with the time that you're given and the opportunities that present themselves is up to you. And so we've given you all time, and we're also giving you opportunities to come into this space, to learn, to ask questions, to work with CJ and his team, or work with me and what I do, or to find somebody to work with. But you all are given the time and you're given the opportunities. Now, what are you going to do with them? Now, that's totally up to you. But what we don't want to hear, right, CJ, is somebody stole my idea. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that, because that simply means you did not put any action behind your vision and you let it sit dormant, and someone else caught wind of your vision in the spirit realm and they ran with it. So I don't know what to tell you about that except get to work. So, CJ, I'm going to let you have the final say today. We've got one more of these, CJ. We got one more conversation to have in our mini series. Are you? This has been so. So let me ask this. Okay, I'm gonna ask before we move on. Mary says, "Love this. Thanks so much for this informative session." Thank you, Mary, for popping in. I'm glad you got some good stuff from it. Thank you, Dina, for watching. I want to ask you all before you go, though. I've been thinking about 2024 and what new things we're going to do. How do you all feel about CJ and I showing up in the podcast space, and we have sort of a regular segment together where we actually invite you all to be guests with us, and it's a part of our encouraging expert segment. And of course, I'm the encourager. CJ is our expert, and we'll actually bring you all on as a guest, and you can tell us about what you're doing, about your brand, and get some feedback from the encourager and the expert. How would you all like that? If that's something that you'd be interested in, please let me know. Because CJ and I have been kind of throwing that around, but we want to see if that's something that y'all would like to see. Okay, absolutely love that idea. Love that idea. That's cool. Yes. Okay, CJ. So guess we can continue working on that, because this starting and scaling your brand mini series is going to end this month. We've got one more. What's the date on that, CJ? What's the date? It's the third Tuesday of this month, but what's the date? December the what?
Okay, let me check on that.
I know I've got it saved somewhere.
Okay, that's the 19th of December.
All right, December 19th. So December 19th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be our very last episode of this Starting and Scaling Your Brand mini series. So this is going to end on December 19th at 1:30. However, CJ and I are working. Yes, Ellie, December 19th. December 19th. So we're going to create something on our Encouraging Expert segment of SpeakUpSis podcast. And Charnel and I were the Encouraging Experts last year. So 2024, CJ and I are going to come through with your Encouraging Expert segment, and we're going to talk about branding your business. We're going to talk about personal brands. We're going to talk about business brands, and we're going to bring you on and look at your brand and give you some feedback. All right. And with that, CJ, you got the floor. Give the people something encouraging before we leave them today.
Okay. All right. Lastly, like I've always said and I always say, the power of a brand is its global appeal, right? Stop thinking your environment. Think global. Right, think global. What you have, people from different parts of the world can actually, leverage on it. So think global. Stop thinking about that tiny little space where you're in. Expand your vision. Right, God gives you a vision, but with your imagination, you give it size. So give your vision some size by thinking big and doing big stuff. Next year is going to be a year for the big stuff, big push, big stuff. So it's high time you get started already, right? It's big things all true. So get connected. If you want to talk about it, get connected. If you want to build a team, get connected. If you want to get branded or get rebranded, get connected. One thing you are sure about will push you to that place that you need to be. We're going to help you birth great ideas, great brands, build something massive that you are going to be wondering, okay, am I this am I this person doing all of this? Right. So get connected if you can, and let's do it.
That's what's up. All right, everyone, we are done for the day. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us live on Facebook or YouTube. Again, if you are not already following Speak Up Sis on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Subscribe to Speak Up Sis on YouTube and make sure you click the notification bell to make sure that you know when we drop some new content or when we're live or something really, really good. If you're not already following us on Facebook, come on, what are you doing? What's wrong? Go ahead and make sure that if you look at the top of your Facebook screen, make sure that it says liked with the ED on the end. Make sure you're liking and following Speak Up Sis podcast on Facebook. And listen, share us with your communities. There are so many people who need this information, and we're giving it to you live. We're giving it to you free, right? So take it. This is your chance. This is your opportunity to learn. So come along and glean from our fields and grow your businesses. Grow with us. All right. And with that, until next time, don't forget to open up your mouth and speak up, sis and bro, but definitely speak up, sis. Y'all have a good evening. CJ, this was a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.